Joe was a good hunter, but his back was sore. Every day, Joe stood in the cold river, waiting for a slippery silver fish to swim by. If he was fast, he ate. If he was slow, his belly growled like a mountain lion. Joe looked at his spear and sighed. There must be a way to get fish without getting his feet wet. He dreamed of a world where fish just jumped into his basket while he napped in the sun. Then one day, a stranger arrived. This was not a regular caveman. He didn't carry a spear. He didn't have mud on his face. He wore many shiny crystal rocks around his neck and smelled like expensive fermented berries. He called himself the Great Provider. He told Joe that spears were for losers. He told Joe that the river was for suckers. "Why hunt?" the stranger asked, "when you can simply grow your fish in my magic pit?" The stranger led Joe to a dark hole behind a large rock. He told Joe a secret that sounded like magic. "Give me 1 golden banana today," the stranger whispered, "and tomorrow I will give you 2 slippery silverfish from this pit. You don't have to fish. The pit does the work." Joe was confused. How do bananas turn into fish? "It's very complex tribal math," the stranger said. "You wouldn't understand. Just trust the pit." Joe was hesitant, but he was very tired of the cold water. He gave the stranger his only golden banana. The next morning, Joe went back to the hole. To his amazement, the stranger handed him 2 large, slippery silver fish. Joe's eyes popped out. He ate like a king and told everyone in the village. "The river is dead," Joe shouted. "The magic pit is the future of the tribe." Soon the whole village was standing in line at the magic pit. The fat chief brought a giant pile of golden bananas. The berry pickers brought their finest fruit. Even the old elder, who should have known better, brought a bag of shiny crystal rocks to trade for pit fish. Everyone wanted to be rich without the sweat. The stranger smiled a very wide, toothy grin. He took everyone's bananas and promised them twice as many fish the next week. For a while, the tribe was happy. Every day, the early people who gave bananas were getting fish back. They bought bigger caves. They wore more leopard skins. They laughed at the few hunters who still went to the river. "Look at those idiots," they said, "still using spears like it's the Stone Age. We are the new generation. We are the pit people." But deep inside the cave, where the light of the fire didn't reach, the stranger was busy. There was no magic in the pit. There were no fish breeding in the dark. The stranger was simply taking the golden bananas from the people at the back of the line and using them to buy a few fish to give to the people at the front of the line. It was a circle of lies. The stranger knew the primal logic. As long as more people joined the line with more bananas, he could keep giving out fish. He was sucking the value from the new hunters to pay the old ones. But Joe didn't see the straw. Joe only saw the fish. He decided to give the stranger every golden banana he had ever saved. He even borrowed bananas from his cousin. In one moon, Joe thought, I will own the whole river. One morning, the air felt different. A cold wind blew through the village. Joe went to the magic pit to collect his mountain of fish, but the line was very short. No new hunters had arrived that day. Everyone in the tribe was already in the pit. There were no more bananas left to feed the stranger's magic. Joe reached the hole and called out, but there was no answer. He looked inside. The hole was empty. The stranger was gone. The shiny crystal rocks were gone. And most importantly, all the golden bananas were gone. The stranger had run into the tall grass during the night, leaving behind nothing but a very hungry tribe and a pile of useless dirt. The village sat in silence. The fat chief cried because his throne of bananas had vanished. Joe looked at his empty basket and his dusty spear. He realized a painful truth that the elder had told him many moons ago. If a man promises you a fish that you didn't catch, he is probably planning to eat your banana while you sleep. The tribe walked back to the cold river. Their backs were still sore, and the water was still freezing. But as Joe threw his spear and caught a real slippery silver fish, he felt something he hadn't felt at the magic pit. He felt full. The magic was a ghost, but the river was real. The elder watched from the shore and sighed. The seasons change, but the hunger for easy fish never dies.